Greetings, Haunt fans. This is Andrew Montoya with the ScareFactor.com's Team Hauntarama. And joining me today is Andrew Miller, Operations Director at Elitch Gardens here in Denver, Colorado. Elitch's has been a cornerstone of the Denver community for more than a century. Having opened in 1890, it started off over on 38th and Tennyson as a garden. They eventually added some rides, and ultimately it became a full-blown amusement park. One of my favorite rides is actually still there, the Spider, moved from the original location to the downtown location where Elitch has moved in 1995. They opened a water park a couple of years later, so folks attending can get the best of both worlds: ride a roller coaster and then go down a water slide. There's also year-round events like Oktoberfest, fireworks, special shows, and even a holiday event featuring beautiful lights just adorning the park. And of course, the event that brings us here today, Fright Fest. It's a Halloween delight. There are tremendous decorations all over the park with trick-or-treating for the kids during the day and scarier surprises that come out at night. In addition to, of course, the haunts. The mastermind behind all of those is, of course, Andrew here joining us. So thank you for joining us today, Andrew.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah. So how long have you been with Elitch's?
This has been my third year with Elitch Gardens.
Nice, nice. So you kind of run the whole show, am I right? You run the whole park?
Yeah, I run the operations end, so ride, security, front gate, entertainment, park
Wow.
services.
There
Yeah.
you go. How does one kind of get in that line of work, running an entire amusement park?
Yeah, I started out as a college job, and as I was going to school, I needed something for kind of in between on the weekends, and started working at a theme park at Six Flags Over Texas. It was just kind of a side gig, and then fell in love, and kind of been in the industry ever since.
Nice, nice. So I've got to ask, I know Elitch's features multiple haunts each year, and with things like Oktoberfest button right up against the back of it, how tough is it to build multiple haunted attractions within about a month's time while the park is still open to the public?
Yeah, it's a challenge. Literally start building as soon as we get out of daily operations. So this last weekend, we were pulling stuff out of our trailers and setting stuff up, and we'll be building all the way up until the last day, 2 a.m. sometimes the night before to get it kind
Oh,
of all
wow.
finished and ready to go right before we open. But it's always a sprint.
I believe that. I believe that. And I'd imagine with so many haunts, you've got a, menagerie of folks working with you as well. About how many actors do you think you guys employ each year?
Yeah, so we have about 80 actors for this year planned. We're kind of
Nice.
around that number every year.
There you go. That's awesome. How long has Elitch just been doing Fright Fest, if you know?
It goes all the way back to the Six Flags days. So I'm not quite sure how long ago, but I mean, over 10 years, 15.
There you go. I tell you, I actually worked at Elitch's in high school back in the late 90s, and Fright Fest was the thing back then. So it's been going for a while. I wasn't sure if it was back at the 38th and Tennyson days or not, though.
Yeah, I think it was more of the new location, probably when Six Flags came on, would be my guess. But yeah.
There you go. That's awesome. Um, and how has Fright Fest kind of evolved over the years that you've been working there?
Yeah, so when I first got here, we basically had two haunted houses. The first year we redid Carnival, it was more of a clown themed originally, and we kind of went to more carnival themed. And that's in our water park. We actually take our bathhouse, which is our restrooms for the water park, and convert it into a haunted house. And then we extended it out to add more stuff outside. So you've got kind of an outdoor part of the haunt, and then you enter the bathhouse. And then our old theater, the Trocadero Theater, has been a haunted house recently. And so we actually took everything out of the Trocadero Theater this last year, and are turning it back into a theater to have a new show for Fright Fest and our Elitch Holidays event.
Okay.
And we're taking some of those assets and we're repurposing them, and we're making two new haunted houses that are going to be bigger and better than what we had originally with the Trocadero.
That sounds pretty exciting. What can folks expect this year when they get out there?
Yeah, so we'll still have Carnival. We have a show called Seance, which is a reservation show, and it's kind of a seance show with some cool special effects that happen during the show. And then we
Nice.
have Port of the Damned is our new haunt, and it's going to go in our Elitch Gardens arena.
Okay.
And so it's kind of a courtyard themed. So we have some shipping containers, and it's pretty cool. Is as you go through the shipping containers, each one will have their own individual theme and kind of special effects that so you'll kind of get five different experiences that you'll go through that can kind of be different than what we've done in the past. And then the one I'm most excited about is Red Cliff Ridge.
Hmm,
So with Colorado, mines are super big here, and so we have
absolutely.
a mine entrance that you'll go through, and then you'll go through a graveyard, and then we'll go through an old Western city. So it's a lot more of an old Western style haunt, and it'll be in one of our older buildings that used to be for the Batman stunt show. It was
Okay.
like where the Batmobile was stored and stuff, and so that eventually turned into a park cash control office, and now we're converting that into a haunted house. So we're pretty excited about that.
Ah, that sounds really cool. And looking online, yeah, having been there in years past too, I know the park kind of goes through a bit of a transition from daytime to nighttime. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we try to do fun by day. So in the daytime, there's some kids' activities like a hay maze. There's trick or treat shells for the kids. And then at 6 p.m., we do a procession. And so we'll have all of our scare actors follow our hearse, and they'll go through the park from the very back by Twister all the way up to the front of the gate in kind of a parade style route, and they'll scare people on the way. And so it's kind of like a big procession of characters and all of our ghouls and scare zones kind of break off. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. The haunts themselves, do they kind of lean into the family friendly theme, or do you guys, embrace some of the blood and guts?
yeah, so the haunts after 6 p.m., those are all when they open, and they are all not the family friendly theme. So they're a lot more bloods and guts and gore and scary. So the event is
Okay,
intended for 13 and older, kind of after the 6 p.m.
there you go. All right, awesome. And I gotta ask, which haunt scares you the most?
Um, I'm hoping Red Cliff Ridge. We haven't gotten there first, but Carnival is one of the favorites for everyone, just because everyone is afraid of clowns. And so it was definitely our most popular the last 2 years was Carnival.
Nice.
But I'm hoping that with these new haunts, we can kind of get some new things that we haven't done here before and add some new scares.
Sweet, sweet. Awesome. Well, anything else you'd like to share with folks this year?
Um, No, we also have one new show. So we're working with RWS, who does show production, and we're putting a show in the Trocadero, which is going to be really exciting. And we're looking at 4 show times, and it's been quite a while since we've had a show in that theater. So it'll be kind of a family-friendly show with different music and live actors that sing. So we're really excited about that, and we're busy kind of getting that ready right now too. So.
That's really cool. So that's different than the seance show you were talking about, right?
It is. So that'll be
Okay,
free versus Seance is an upcharge.
I see.
Seance has a pretty limited capacity. You can only fit about 50 people per show,
Oh, wow.
versus our theater can fit 350 seated. So it'll be exciting.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much again for joining us, Andrew. Anyone looking for a full day of fun for this Halloween, make plans to brave Fright Fest this season if you dare. Spend the day basking in the glorious Colorado autumn weather, riding roller coasters and other thrill rides, and then sit back and enjoy that transition, that parade of all the monsters as they come out and the horrors come out to play. Of course, make sure you carve out time to visit those haunts. Sounds like there's a lot of exciting things happening this year. And make sure you're the first to, among the first to stop by and see them. Elitch Gardens is open now, including the water park remaining open through Labor Day, and Fright Fest emerges on September 27th. So make your plans, mark your calendars. Thank you again very much, Andrew. You have a great
Thank you.
afternoon.
You too.